Hi folks, BrickSidious here, back with not another LEGO Star Wars video, but instead another 80s sci-fi franchise, Aliens from Ridley Scott, James Cameron era. These are not official LEGO bricks, but purchased on AliExpress over the last few years. Obviously, LEGO wouldn't invest in a mature, violent theme like this, but I am a fan and I like science fiction, so I had to branch out a little. So we'll start on the left with the famous xenomorph. I think this species, after, it busts out of the chest of the host, it takes kind of the body shape of the host it infected. So this one is kind of humanoid, as you can tell. I think the one in Alien 3 was more dog-like because it gestated in a dog. And there could be other variations, I suppose, like ones that grew in a predator or whatnot. But this is kind of the standard one from the first two Alien movies. It uses some Technic pieces and some curved elements to create that organic, biological morphology. And it has a nice base here with the acid, I guess, drool. The drool is also acidic, like its blood, creating a hole in the floor here. And it's got the fearsome tail with the sharp end, and the tongue with the inner biting mouth, or whatever you call that thing, and some nice metallic nails or claws. Fairly stable, it won't fall down on its own. And I think the whole thing is probably about 10 inches tall, so it looks pretty good. Kind of similar, it would be a similar scale to like those buildable Star Wars figures. And then, since I really like the vehicles of the Aliens universe, but they didn't really flesh those out, or I have not purchased, like, they have sets of the Sulaco Colonial Marines, the large ship depicted in the second movie. I think there's some sets online, but they're like thousands of pieces, and I think the build would be pretty difficult. You know how sometimes the Chinese sets have really poor instructions and brick quality. So building a UCS scale set like that could be frustrating. But this one, it's more like a desktop set. This is also about a foot long. The Marines drop ship from Aliens, the second movie again. Unfortunately, it doesn't, the wings and the missile batteries don't fold over and make the ship like in compact flight mode as depicted in the movie, but this is more in attack mode where the missile batteries are out. And the landing ramp is down as well, where this APC, armored personnel carrier, kind of their troop transport, comes out. The way this set is built, it is not able to, the APC is not able to actually go on the ramp and retract into the ship. It's just for display to see everything all landed out on a landing pad. But I think, given the scale and what pieces they are working with, it looks pretty good to the movie. Let's see in the back here, the tail and the engines. It's funny with this one, I think I followed the instructions correctly, but the ramp is actually separate from the vehicle. So these landing gear can, I guess, somewhat retract, and it would look like it was flying. But when you want to display it in landing mode, you just kind of place the ship on top of the ramp here, as if it was a single connected set. And then lastly, you have the power loader, not a military vehicle, but more like a construction, I guess the equivalent of like a bulldozer or a forklift in our universe. But this one, it doesn't bounce very well at all. That's why I have to kind of lean it against the Star Wars sign here, because of these long tongs, if you will. I guess the angle you place it at could affect the center of gravity of the thing, and you can tell the feet are not flush with the ground. I guess they wanted to make it look more like the movie, but it's quite wobbly. But I like the level of detail here. You know, they tried, and I think all these sets are, you know, kind of on the order of like $60 or less. And let's see, in the back you can see it has some, you know, pneumatics and a lot of hoses for controlling the various functions here, and then the operator would go into the cage in the middle. And there's like the little blowtorch or something, you know, the little cylinder here, I think, represents that. Got the kind of caution lights and random antenna, and nice, yeah, the user's controls, the joysticks and the arms here. So yeah, I mean, when you see it from afar, it's obvious what it is. It's very distinctive and pretty true to the movie. So yeah, these are my Alien sets together. I've also seen on AliExpress they have like the Marines pulse rifle. It's quite expensive, but it's I would say it's nearly real scale. Maybe it's about 2 feet long, but you know, it'd be kind of silly. I don't know where I would display that in the home. You know, just put like this brick built rifle on my mantle or something. I know other folks have, or there are other builders who have made sets like, you know, famous World War II or modern day firearms in Lego. If you're a fan of those, I'd love to see some of your builds and photos. But at the time, yeah, you know, I have kids at home and things like. I guess I won't have any Lego rifles or on display. But anyway, that's about it. I'll be on vacation the next couple weeks, but hopefully I would like to do a video next comparing the new Jango Fett UCS Slave one, the blue one, to the original Boba Fett red and green one. And if you have any other ideas for videos, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.